pretty wet day out there today, so I'm in the shop. You can probably hear the generator running in the background, and I've got the fan going to keep the air circulating. It is much cooler today, but still very humid. But anyway, the rain is keeping me inside for now, so I'm doing some work to get this headboard ready. This was a headboard we bought for the guest room that you know about, that's been redone. It was quite cheap, so I have got a fair bit of repair work and holes to fill and painting to do on it before it goes in the room up behind the bed. So we'll get that going forward a little farther today. And then if the rain lets up, I'm going to see if I can get out and do a little bit of surveying to get our stones in place for the snake rail fence. Hopefully I can get some of that done. We'll see how it goes. It's still pretty wet. But for now, let's get on to the headboard. Well, that looks pretty good. I've got the holes filled and the dents filled. I'm gonna have to go over it just a couple more times to make sure it's all flat, and then I'll prime it. So we're a couple days off, but it's coming up quite quickly. Well, that looks okay. That's our first coat of primer on this headboard. It's going to take at least one more coat of primer before we put on the finish color. It's tricky stuff to paint and try to keep the brush marks out of it. So we'll see how it goes once I got a few coats on here. Well, you can hear my neighbor working away in the background. Pierre stays pretty busy as well. Not sure what his project is today. So one thing I noticed right off the bat here, after looking a little closer at it, is this first in run on the snake has no rock underneath it, and it's not in anywhere near far enough. So I am going to start laying out my outside line, so every 20 feet. And then I'm going to take this bit apart and figure out my 8-foot in position and get a rock in place under there. And then that will give me my line for my 8-foot in snake part. So let's get that done. marking. Alright, so there's the position for the outside rocks. I've got quite an angle here, so I'm going to have to dig a few of them in. So let's go looking for rocks. My battle with rocks never seems to end. All right, let's go dig our rocks into place. Now, the shallower I can make them, the better. I don't think this one needs digging in at all. Oh, we're good. Number 2. Just a little bit. Well, that has my first set of rocks in place. Just have to repair this area here and get this set back up properly. But I think for today, we're gonna call it quits. I'm soaking wet, my elbow is sore, so that's been good enough. All right, so there's primer coat number 2 on the headboard. It's still pretty streaky, but that's okay. The primer is not the finished color, or finished coat, I should say. It's there to help the finished coat to adhere. So it's probably going to take at least 2 and probably 3 coats of the finished color to cover this whole thing properly. But anyway, so far it looks pretty good. I'm quite pleased with the repairs. It's good and sturdy again. Holes are filled and we're ready. So let's move on to our next painting job, which is the stain on the outside of the shop. So this is just kind of a bit of an experiment here. I'm not going to do too much today because I'm right in the sun and it is another one of those lovely hot summer days. So let's get that started and we'll see how it looks. Man, that is hot out here. Holy mackerel. Okay, so there we are. We've got a few boards painted and it's tough to tell because it's shaded there, but I think it's gonna turn out pretty good. The colors seem to match really nicely. I'm very happy with that. So tomorrow, or at least the next day that it's not raining, when it's a little cooler in the morning, I'll carry on this. Right now it is just burning hot back here. Time to get the heck out of the sun. Go get something cool to drink. Well, it is a staggeringly hot day out here today. So I'm not going to stand out in the sun and try painting. It's just way too much. We're looking at temperatures of a little over 35 right now, with a humidity of somewhere around 43. So it's pretty crazy. So what I think we're going to do is put the camera on the ATV and go down and check our trail cameras. I'm going to swap the chips out and see if we've managed to catch any wildlife down there. And then I think we're going to find a spot in the shade. So let's go have a look at the trail cameras and see what we've got. Man, it's hot out here. Okay, there's one set to go. Let's go back to the other one. So this is a new location for this camera. What I thought looked like might be an animal path, which is why I put it out here. So we'll give it a look and see what we've got. All right, there we go. We got a fresh chip in there. We'll go check what we've got on these two that we just pulled out. Okay, let's go see what we've got. Well, I think that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the shots from the trail cameras. As for me, I've got my ice cold beer, plate full of watermelon, and a nice comfortable spot in the breeze. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the trails next time.